While I was in college, it was very hard to find a job that would fit my hours, so I decided to become a janitor. The only job they had available at the time was a job to clean the football stadium and the basketball arena. The football stadium held about 65,000 people, and the basketball arena held 23,000 people. This was certainly going to be an interesting job. I loved sports, and I thought this would be fun. So I began my job with the first game of the season. I had no idea what it would take to clean the football stadium and the basketball arena, but I would soon find out that it was a lot harder than it seemed. The process looks like this. After the game is over and all the people leave the stands, it is very important that you meet your supervisor. He or she has mapped out the huge stadium into sections. I was assigned a huge section by myself. First of all, you walk through every aisle with an empty bucket in your hand. While walking through the aisle, I would look for cups or bottles that still had liquid in them. And when I found a cup that had liquid, I would pour the liquid into the empty bucket. By the time I got to the bottom of my section, the bucket was full of old soda, water, and hot chocolate, or whatever drink that someone was drinking. Next, I had to sweep each row and the trash onto the steps between the sections where people sat. So as I swept all the garbage into the aisle, there would be popcorn, nacho cheese, peanuts that had been smashed into the ground, candy bars that were half eaten, leftover hot dogs, ketchup, mustard, and all sorts of leftover junk. It was disgusting. I was amazed at the amount of trash that people left where they sat. After I swept the aisle, then I would get the trash on the steps. And how I did this was I got a big box with a broom. And the box was about the size of a refrigerator. And I would hold on to the box and I would get the broom and sweep the trash from the steps into the box. Then go down one step and then go do the same thing for the next step. When the box was full, which was always before I reached the bottom of my section, there would be this little cart that would come by and pick up my full box, and they would then give me a new box, which was empty, to finish my section. Sometimes it would take 3 or 4 boxes before the section was finished. After the garbage was gone from the stands, we then would have to get a power water hose and go up and down each row to spray off the dirt from the food that was stuck to the cement. This was a hard job, and many times it was cold, we became wet, and that made the job even worse. Once we cleaned the stadium, it was ready for the game next week. Then we started the whole process again. On the other hand, cleaning the basketball arena was very similar to cleaning the football stadium. The only difference was that we could not use the power water hose. So you can imagine what we had to do. Instead, we would have to use a bucket of soapy hot water, and we would have to mop each row by hand. And we would do this by lifting the bucket, and then we would mop one row. We would then pick up the bucket, drop it down to the next step, and mop the next row. Once the water was dirty, we would then have to walk back up the stairs, empty it, fill it back up with soapy water, and go all the way down to the bottom. This made me sick. I began to dread the football and basketball games because all I could think about was what people were throwing on the ground and that I would have to clean it up. After I quit that job, I vowed that I would never leave my garbage on the ground for someone else to clean up. What a fun lesson to learn.